the next thing is we need to teach them what to say, right? We have all this knowledge in our head, and so we're going to put them on the phone. They're cold calling to get meetings for us, or to for some. We're outsourcing our cold calling to them, so we need to have them saying the right stuff. So I believe in giving my callers a sales playbook. By the way, when I was a salesperson, uh, I working for big corporations, they never told me what to say. I rarely got any scripts, and I know there's a lot of companies out there that don't believe in scripts, but the words that a salesperson uses is their best sales tool. A lot of people think of sales tools as, an email tool, or a website, or voicemail, or whatever. They think of all these different sales tools. The words that come out of your mouth, or the words that go into an email, is your most important sales tool. So why get that wrong? Why either just hire anybody, whether they're a full-time person or a work-at-home person? Why hire anybody and just hope that they take what you give them, what you tell them about your product, and that they figure out what to say with their own sort of style? So I basically would give my callers a playbook, and the playbook would have a call script, voicemail script, email templates, and objection responses. By the way, I would also tell them, hey, here's your playbook. And I'm not saying that you need to read from all these documents word for word, and I don't want you to be a robot. And use these as a guide. Use these as a guide, and you can use your own personality style. You can divert from them, from here and there, whatever, but use them as a guide for what to ask and what to say. And I would tell them, I would say, if you want to do your own thing, and you don't want to follow this structure, and you want to kind of totally do your own thing, I would tell them, go for it. Yeah, but if you don't get results, then the finger's pointed at you. If you follow this playbook and you don't get results, and you're doing everything I tell you to, then the finger's pointed at me. So it's your choice. The good thing about what I'm showing you here today is, if you want to do this and do this on your own, you're going to have some challenges. The nice thing about what I can do for you is I've gone through a lot of these processes, so I have a lot of these pieces in place that you can leverage. And one of those is SalesScripter. And so, like I said, this piece of software comes from me hiring and training cold callers, the people that you might think about doing. And so, just to kind of show you a couple pieces of this as we go, as it's relevant. So basically, SalesScripter will allow you to create your script and your playbook for the person that you want to outsource to. And so this is actually my account, but you can basically create a campaign. So let's say you want to hire someone to schedule appointments, calling hospitals, selling one of your particular products. Well, then that might be a particular campaign, and you can go through our tool here to basically create that campaign. Now you might say, I have a script already, or maybe you don't. There is a possibility that even if you have a script already, we might help you to think about things in a different way, and we might help you to think of pain points and benefits and questions that you wouldn't have thought of before. So on the top of outsourcing cold calling, we might help you to build a better script. But getting to the playbook, this piece right here of SalesScripter is basically the playbook. This is what, when I had Launchpad and I was hiring work-at-home agents, I would just give them a set of Word documents. But now, this is all here in a web-based application. So here's a call script. Here is basically, let me just close this. Here is a call script. So like I said, with my work-at-home agents, they would be looking at this in a Word document. For you, if you wanted to use this, here is basically a call script. And like I said, this can be a guide for what to say and ask for your salesperson. In SalesScripter, they also have a different view that they can look at that. This is that exact same document, but it's just kind of more in a what to say next and navigating the call. Also, I mentioned that your playbook should include objection responses. When I was a salesperson, my sales managers never talked to me about objections. I would just sort of try to figure out what to say whenever something came up. But you know what? The same objections come up again and again. And so Sales Scripter will actually give you a lot of the standard objections that you'll come across, and different responses that can be said to those objections. If I go back to this interactive script, those objections are also displayed in that same view. So when you're talking about, if you are hiring a work-at-home agent and you want to make it easy for you to teach them what to say, and you want to make it easy for them to know what to say when they're on making calls, man, here you go. It's all right here. I mean, you have to do a little bit of explanation, a little bit of training, but bam, it's all right there. So it makes it a lot easier. So here are all a few different call scripts and whatnot that your work-at-home agent can use. If you're doing B2B selling, then your work-at-home agent should be empowered to send emails. So they can send emails through, or they can access a bunch of emails directly here in Sales Scripter. So again, this is part of your playbook. Okay, creating email templates is good for you, not only because you're probably a better person to write an email than your work-at-home agent is. Not only are you the better person to basically create the right emails, but you don't want your work-at-home agent typing emails in between calls. So that's the really great thing about these email templates. And I realized this when I was a salesperson, that I'm sending the same emails again and again. It's, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of you. Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Hey, you asked me to send you some information. They're all these same situations when you're cold calling. So here are all these email templates. Now, you can use Sales Scripter to actually send these emails directly from Sales Scripter. So you could basically create an email account for your work-at-home agent, load up their credentials into Sales Scripter, and then they can send these directly from here. A couple reasons why you might want to do that is, one is you can actually see opens and clicks when people to send out of here. Another reason that you might want to send emails from here for your work-at-home agent is because we create these things called email threads, which basically are multiple emails stitched together, and so you can actually send all of these and automate the delivery of all of them. So I'm going to actually move quicker because I'm probably running a little bit long on time. I apologize. But so there's also voicemail scripts. So again, one last thing that you have to teach a work-at-home agent. So it's all right here, everything you need.